What's up, you guys? So with the conclusion of Phase 5 in the MCU, I wanted to rank my MCU Phase 4 and 5. Everyone's doing it. Like literally everywhere I go, someone's ranking their MCU Phase 4 and 5. So I figured, why not do it? Let's give it a shot. Ranking every single MCU movie Phase 4 and 5. So if you want to skip around, go in the timestamps in the description down below. Without further ado, let's get into it. So with the new Avengers, that's the new title for the Thunderbolts for some reason. I don't know why Marvel spoiled that so early. I know everyone's talking about it, I feel like, where like, it's such a weird decision, and I'm on the side where I think it's a weird decision as well, that they just decided to spoil it right from the get-go. But yeah, with the new Avengers coming out at the end of, as you guys know, when there's an Avengers movie, that usually means it's the end of the phase. So Phase 5 is officially over. Actually, I don't even know where Phase 4 ended. Thinking about it now, because there wasn't an Avengers movie for 4 and 5. So I don't know where 4 and 5 actually split apart, but without further ado, let's get into my ranking. Within these two phases, we have 14 Marvel movies, and in 14th, dead last place, is Thor: Love and Thunder. When I first saw this movie, I remember enjoying it, but on rewatch, man, this movie's just awful. I think everyone's universally agrees this is the worst MCU Phase 4 and 5 movie. The humor is just all over the place with its dramatic scenes and plot. The plot's just awful. We go from like Jane having cancer and like it being so dark, like Gore the God Butcher's whole scenery, to this like screaming goats, Zeus in a kilt skirt thing, like weird, all like diversity, humor, and dark elements within this film. And I think that's mainly because of Taika Waititi, the if I even pronounce that right, the director of Ragnarok. Obviously, Ragnarok's amazing; it's a gift, but didn't work out for Love and Thunder. So yeah, moving on. In 13th place, I'm going with Captain America: Brand New Day. No, that's Spider-Man. New World Order. Brave New World, I think. I don't know. Hulk 2. You guys saw my review on it. If you haven't, check it out. Came out in February. But yeah, didn't like that movie at all. I just think it's so boring and bland, and I still think Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm currently rewatching Falcon and the Winter Soldier right now, and I think it's such a better MCU origin for Sam Wilson, and Sam Wilson just didn't get any good writing within this MCU, because especially in this movie with the villains in it, it's just all Hulk villains, which is so weird because it's like 20 years later. And I don't know, man, it's just so random that you guys have these random people in it, have Sam Wilson fight the Red Hulk, have it lead nowhere, and the post-credits, one of the worst post-credits in the MCU. So yeah, 13th without a doubt, Brave New World. Going into the next group here, 12 through number 10, I feel like these are all like pretty just mid movies, but like bad, but like not the worst, like 13 and 14. But in 12th place, I'm going the Marvels. I think this movie is decent. I think it's a little worse than Captain Marvel. I always hated Captain Marvel growing up and seeing it, but rewatching it recently, I was like, it's actually not that bad. Pretty decent. Opposed to the movies that we get now within the MCU, like Brave New World and Thor: Love and Thunder. I was like, it's not that bad. I think the Marvels is good with the characters. I think the characters all individually and universally work together really well. I just think sometimes the visuals look a little off. They look a little weird sometimes here and there. I think sometimes the plot just doesn't really make sense. How we got this random Monica Rambeau from WandaVision, we got Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel all meeting up, and somehow none of them really interlink at all. The end credit scene introduces the X-Men, so I'm very excited to see where that's going to lead us. It's in 12th right now. In 11th place, I'm going with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I'm not going to say this movie's mid per se. I think I give this movie like a 6 out of 10. I think it's fun. It has moments where I'm screaming in the theater, like when Jonathan Krasinski comes out of nowhere as Mr. Fantastic. We get Charles Xavier again, Captain Carter live on screen. I thought that was very fun. All these moments I was like, very fun. It's just we only got to go to really one universe. We go through like a montage of like 2 universes, but Deadpool and Wolverine was more about Multiverse of Madness than Doctor Strange. I mean, also America Chavez, we never saw where she went to. Don't know whatever happened to her. We don't know where Doctor Strange is at the moment. It's just kind of all over the place. I do really like how this continues off of where WandaVision went, but besides that, I just really don't care. It feels more about like a Wanda story than actually Doctor Strange. And I will say the visuals in the first fight scene, just terrible in my opinion. I think the visuals in that movie, in the first beginning scenes are terrible. But so a lot of the visuals are fun. I mean, it is Sam Raimi, of course, but no diss on Sam Raimi. I love Sam Raimi. It's just, I don't know. This movie's not that great for me. Now, my number 10, I know a lot of people are going to come at me for this, but I'm going Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania here. I give this movie a 6 out of 10. I was a defender on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania even when it came out. I know a lot of people hated it. I think this movie is pretty funny at parts. I think it's decent. I will never say it's a great movie or a good movie. I think it's a fun movie. I think I'll watch it and I'm like, I have a good time with it. But I think this movie's actually pretty fun when it comes to like MODOK especially. I loved when people were making fun of MODOK and I was like, there's nothing you can do with him. I love this figurine of MODOK because it shows how goofy he is, and like, he looks just like this in the movie. I think they got him spot on. I like the way that they made it the Yellow Jacket. I love Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That was at the point where we thought it was going to be Kang Dynasty, and before, of course, the whole Jonathan Majors incident. I'm not going to get into that, of course, but just seeing like Kang on the screen, obviously, the minute he got captured by the ants, I was like, dude, if he's the big next Thanos, if he's the next big bad guy, why is he getting walked out by ants? But then I was like, okay, there's going to be multiverse, stuff like that. We got the giant, like, Kang group thing, council. So I was like, you know what? It's pretty cool. I'm very excited. I was very hyped for Kang. I thought they portrayed Kang well. I do think that the worst part of this movie is Cassie. They did Scott's daughter terribly within this film, and I think that's one of the worst attributes of the movie. But besides that, I thought it was a very fun time. I had a very good time with the movie. I think a lot of people hate it, and I can understand why. I think some of the visual scenes are a little weird and goofy at parts, but I think it's fun. I think as a movie, it's enjoyable at parts, but seeing it now, it has no meaning for the future at all, especially with Doctor Doom, so it doesn't really matter anymore, no, so that's why it's number 10. Okay, in 9th place, a movie that went up significantly. This movie was not going to be there originally. I'm going with Black Widow. I actually rewatched this movie after Thunderbolts came out. I wanted to get a refresh of like Red Guardian and Yelena, see more of them because I really like Thunderbolts. And rewatching Black Widow, I was like, this is actually a pretty good movie except for like the ending. The ending, if that ending was solid like the rest of the movie, I think this would have been a great movie. Yes, this movie came out extremely too late for Black Widow, but it's actually a very fun time. I think it's a very good movie when it comes to characters that we're getting, which are 2 of the best characters in the MCU right now. We got like Red Guardian, we got the one, the only Yelena, and we got the greatest character of all time, Taskmaster. Okay, jokes aside though, Taskmaster definitely is the worst part of this movie. I think one of the worst parts of this movie is the whole ending fight scene when they're fighting in the Red Room. And I actually love how the fact that Florence Pugh saw the hatred within the fact that when Yelena jumped off and it was so CGI, one of the worst moments ever, that in Thunderbolts she jumps off a real building and she was like, well, yeah, I told you guys. But I think this is a good movie, solid pick. 9th place. 8th place, a forgotten about movie. Like, this movie, I feel like no one ever talks about. And I actually very much enjoyed it. And I'm going with Eternals. I think Eternals was one of the weirdest movies Marvel put out. Probably a movie that would never get spoken of again, except for that little island. I thought this movie was actually very well done when it comes to its art, artistic abilities. As a movie, it's great. I think it's very fun and planned out well. I think the plot is a little messy, especially within the universe. The fact that these guys said that they only deal with big threats and yet half the population was going extinct and stuff like that. Weird. It's a little odd to me. But I think each individual Eternal is very enjoyable, except for that little Eternal. I remember that person, the child. Hated that one. But like Icarus, the Speedster, they did the Speedster just like the Flash in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I won't go to that extent, but like it was pretty well done. I remember like Barry Keoghan's character in this was very well. A lot of characters within this movie were very fun, and I was like, this is actually pretty lit. I remember watching it in theaters and going like, this is better than I thought it was gonna be. I thought the post credits with Blade, which we're never ever gonna get. Ever. That was very cool. I like the whole scene where the Celestial just comes into Earth and like splits up in the clouds. That's a very, very cool scene to see on screen. It's just weird that no one ever talks about it. The only time we ever got that whole movie ever within the MCU again was in Brave New World, or whatever it is, and the building, the celestial like tower thing or whatever in the middle of the ocean, which is, of course, the thing that Wolverine uses his claws for, the metal. Altuminium, I think it is. But whatever. Eternals is number 8. Number 7, I'm going with Deadpool and Wolverine. I think Deadpool and Wolverine is such a hard movie to rank on this list. Because when it came out, I loved it. I think I gave this movie like a 93 out of 100. Obviously, it's not. It's clearly not. But I think this movie is still very enjoyable. I still think I give it like a very low 8 out of 10 or a high 7 out of a 10. As a movie, this movie is so fun. Definitely is only good in its jokes and cameo abilities. Like in theaters, this was the best movie of all time. Watching this outside of a theater, it's not. It's really not. I love how they brought back the TVA for this, and it introduces a whole new reality. I just hate how messy this movie brings into the MCU now, because now do the X-Men movies count as MCU? Do Fantastic Four movies from the past count as MCU? That's my only gripe with this movie, because if I'm going to rewatch the MCU, I kind of need to watch Deadpool 1 and 2 to figure this out, and all the X-Men movies in order to get to Deadpool. That's my only gripe with it. But yeah, number 7, Deadpool and Wolverine. In 6th place, I'm going with Spider-Man Far From Home. I think Spider-Man Far From Home on rewatch isn't as fun or enjoyable as it was when I was younger and when I first watched it, like most of the Marvel movies are. But I think there's just something about this movie that just has a charm on me. I like the fact that they're not in New York anymore. I like the fact that they're exploring it, because you're like, all right, Spider-Man's always meant to be in New York, but what if he's in Europe? I think that's a really cool concept, and I just love what they did with Mysterio in this movie. I think Mysterio is one of the greatest villains within the MCU that they did right. I think Mysterio was a very well done villain. It just sucks that it's not Spider-Man's villain, it's Iron Man's villain, I guess, that they made in this movie. They didn't really make him a Spider-Man villain. It's the only thing I don't like about it. But it was a very fun movie. It's a very, it makes me feel warm and fuzzy for some reason. I think it's just a comfort movie for me. Like all the Spider-Man movies are, like you just see Spider-Man swinging and it's very fun. So yeah. Far From Home. In 5th place, I'm going with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. This movie just had such a challenging time, obviously, for obvious reasons, without Chadwick Boseman. I think it pays homage to Chadwick Boseman very well. The fact that this movie got Oscar nominated for Angela Bassett clearly states why this movie needs to be in the top 5. I think what they did with Namor was very cool. I thought it was very awesome what they did with Ironheart. However, I think it's so late now to have that Ironheart TV series come out. I don't want it to come out, but I know it's going to. I don't like Shuri as Black Panther at all. I'll be honest. I think Shuri as Black Panther is not going to be good for the future. I really think that they need to recast T'Challa. And they're probably going to do that when they do the soft reboot, but the post-credit, it made me sob. I thought the visuals were great, especially in the underwater scenes. I will say, this movie feels extremely long. Like, I will say, Ryan Coogler, who directed this, Sinners, felt very short. Felt like I could have watched another 2 hours. This, it's like 2.5, maybe. It's reaching 3, I think. and it feels like it's like 6 hours. Like, I feel like I'm like in that theater going like, okay, when can I go home? When can I go home? Oh, we're still underwater? Okay, can I go home now? Like, I wanted to pick up the pace a little bit. In fourth place, a movie that I never thought I would love at all. A movie that I think a lot of people caught by surprise. I'm going with Shang-Chi. This movie, man, felt like a movie that was straight out of Phase 2. I loved this movie with passion. I thought the choreography in this film was great. The fighting action scenes, especially that whole bus scene. I think the ending scene too with the dragon, very cool, very fun. The visual effects look amazing in that. And I think the fact that we got the Mandarin from Iron Man 3 ties into this movie so well that it works. Like, everyone, like, I know, like, if you were to make, like, a character, like, example, Captain America Brand New Day, or Brave New World, we got Red Hulk, we got the leader, who are Hulk villains, we got this guy who is from Iron Man, who fits in this plot so well, because this is the real Ten Rings, who was always a part of the Iron Man story. It works so well. Aquafina, I know, hate her, you love her. She was very funny in this movie, very fun. This movie just felt like that lightheartedness, but it also balanced it well with its action and dark scenes. I thought it was a very cool movie. I liked it. Really cool Marvel movie. In third place, I'm going with Spider-Man No Way Home. This movie was the ultimate theater experience, I think, for anyone ever. The fact that this movie made $2 billion during the pandemic is insane. If this movie came out pre-pandemic or right now, currently, it would be probably the most made movie of all time. Yes, I know that there are problems with the plot and the overall story on how everything makes sense, but it's just so fun seeing the three Spider-Man on screen together. I think if they were to do this again, like soon, it would be too soon, but it was such a unique experience, such a fun time, and I just have to put it in third. Like, I feel like it's a dishonor not to. It was my 16th birthday party. I rented out like 2 rows in the theater. Got all my friends to see it. I'll definitely remember that for the rest of my life, but seeing this in theaters was a great experience for me growing up. And I'm just having it at third. I know a lot of people are going to put a little bit lower on their list, but it's top 3 material. Second place, hold on, that's better. Can't even see my eyes right now. Second place, I gotta go to Thunderbolts. It's just so good. I mean, if you haven't seen the Thunderbolts yet, you definitely need to. Actually, this looks terrifying, so I'm gonna take it off. But it's just so good. It introduces so many characters that I think are loved within the MCU right now. Probably the best written characters like Bob. We got Red Guardian. We got Yelena. Even John Walker. Great characters with great writing. Unfortunately, I do think most of these characters will be dying in Doomsday. Even with that, I think this movie's so fantastic. Introduces so many good characters, and it's so refreshing. This movie was so refreshing. Getting that out of the way, I think number one's obvious who it's going to be, what it's going to be. It's obviously going to be Guardians of the Galaxy 3, a movie that wrapped up that trilogy so nicely. Without a doubt, I think that's a lot of people's number one. I mean, this just wrapped up that trilogy so nicely. It made me sob, and had a great soundtrack, great visuals, great plot. The villain in that movie was so, oh my god, I hated him so well. Not like, it was just so good. Like, as a villain, he was a great villain because of how much I hated him, for what he did to Rocket. And like, it was a great movie that had a lot of emotional beats to it with Star-Lord and all that. I'm very excited to see what they're going to continue with this Guardians team. So that is my ranking of every MCU film from the MCU Phase 4 and 5. Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys want a TV show review? Like all like the TV shows ranked? What are your guys' thoughts on it? Let me know what your ranking is down below. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you want to watch more videos, make sure you like this video. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you go ring that bell in the description down below. And if you really liked it, make sure you subscribe. With all that being said, see you now. Peace.